to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Nadine, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel already. So yeah, my name is Nadine, welcome. This is the first video of 2021. I'm super excited, and yeah, I've kind of been MIA, you know, but I am back and I'm here to deliver some amazing content. I'll let you guys in on why I've been MIA. I've had a lot of things going on, a lot of things, you know, changing. I've been transitioning from a student to a midwife, so yeah, a lot has been going on, and I will take you guys on that journey and show you guys what I've been up to. But let's just start with this video of 2021. So this video, I decided to go back and give you guys some tips for all my aspiring midwives, for all the people that want to study midwifery and have an interview. This video is for you. I have some of my amazing midwifery interview tips which helped me and how I managed to get onto the course, and I'll also be sharing with you my experience when I went to interviews and how I, you know, handled the whole process and all of that good stuff. So I'll be sharing you guys all my juicy and wonderful tips on getting a spot on a midwifery course. So yeah, stay tuned if this video is for you. So if you don't know already, I'm now a qualified midwife. However, I still want to give you guys some tips for those that are still students, for those that want to be midwifery students. I still want to give you guys tips because I feel like I have a lot of tips and advice to offer you guys. So I qualified in September 2020, and yeah, I've been transitioning from student to qualified midwife, but we'll get into that in another video another day. We're gonna focus on how to secure your spot on a midwifery degree course and how to successfully pass those interview processes and, you know, land a spot on the course. So let's go. So I'm gonna start by telling you guys my experience when I was going through the whole interview process. It's been about 3 years now, but I definitely remember because I went to a few interviews and it was very stressful, so I definitely remember the whole process and how I went about everything. So I applied to 5 universities and I got 4 interviews out of the 5. I went to every single interview. So I'm just gonna basically tell you about the interview of the uni that I got into. So the interview of the university that I got into, they sent me an email. I think this was roughly a couple weeks after I put my application in via UCAS. They sent me an email giving me the date and time of my interview. So I prepared myself for the interview, and I went to the interview. I think it was a 9 AM start, and basically you get in there, you they sign you off, they check you on the list to see that your name is there. They give you like a badge, I think it's like a visitor's badge, and then you get allocated into different groups, and then from the different groups, then that's when they give you like time slots and when you're going to do everything and all of that jazz. So the first thing we had to do was a maths and English exam. So we sat in a classroom and we took a maths paper, and then after the maths paper we took an English paper, and then they took all the papers in, and then we went on break. After we went on break for like I think 30 minutes or so, everyone was called back, and then they read out the names individually, and then they were like, they were like, Nadine, stay here, or they said, oh, this person go to the next room. So they were kind of like filtering out people, and then so they told me to stay in the room, they told other people to leave the room, and then so those that were staying in the room had passed their maths. So I was like, yes, I passed my maths. So I passed my maths you can't get an interview until you pass your maths. So I thankfully passed my maths and English, and I was taken to the next level, which was the group interview. So we had a group interview. There were like we had a group of roughly six of us in the group, and there were 2 lecturers or moderators that were watching us and asking us the questions. So we had questions such as, you know, what is a doula? So when they asked me that question, that was the first time I ever even heard of a doula. So I was just like, what's going on? So they asked the whole group what a doula was, and then we had to discuss and explain what it was, explain how they operate, you know, just talk and discuss about a doula. And I was so confused. I had no idea what a doula was. I was just basically, someone would say something and I would just add on to it. That's generally how I survived the first group interview, because I didn't know what a doula was. So I was kind of adding on to what other people were saying because I had no idea. But the good thing is I wasn't quiet. You have to speak. When it comes to a group interview, you have to speak. So even though I didn't know what the hell I was talking about or what the hell the question was about, I still spoke, and it made sense. And then I was accepted onto the next stage, which was the individual interview. So it was just myself and two other lecturers who were interviewing me. So they asked me, you know, why do you want to do this course? They asked me what skills can you transfer over, you know, what have you done since. They talked to me about my personal statement, all of that. You know, we had a conversation. They showed me, they gave me scenarios, and then I'll go into more details about the questions they sent me later on. I'm just giving you guys a brief run through of my interview process. So yeah, so they just asked me a few questions, and then yeah, that was it. After I finished my interview process, I went home, and I think a week after, that's when they told me that I had a unconditional offer. The reason I had an unconditional offer was because I wasn't waiting for any exam results. I had all my qualifications there. I wasn't waiting for anything. So literally they just gave me an unconditional offer. I had to come in, do my DBS, do my all of that. Just do all my DBS, do my occupational health. What else do you do? Yeah, all the little bits, paperwork and student loan and all of that jazz. So yeah, that was basically my interview process. It was very stressful. I can't lie to you. I understand how you guys feel right now going through this process. It's very, very stressful. I had to do it 4 times, I think even more, because I think I had to do, yeah, I did it quite a few times. And I understand the struggle is very, very stressful, but when you get an interview, that's the best thing, because there's some people that don't even get an interview. So for you that actually managed to get an interview, you should be proud of yourself, and you should just go for it and just give it your all and do your best. So in this next part, I'm going to give you guys some tips on how to successfully pass a midwifery interview on getting onto the midwifery course for university. So let's go. So the first tip that I will give you guys is be confident, and first impressions count. So those are 2 things. So first impressions count and be confident. You need to go to this interview dressed appropriately. So don't come wearing jeans, ripped jeans, crop tops, mini skirt, heels that are like stilettos, or yeah, just come looking very, very professional. Wear a professional dress, a professional shirt, professional trousers. So first impressions count. They are looking at you from head to toe. Make sure your hair is done nice. You've got, you know, nice short nails. You've got clean shoes. your clothes are clean, they are ironed, there's no, yeah, make sure you just look like you're good and put together. And the other one I would say is be confident. You don't want to go into an interview without the confidence. They want to see you put yourself out there, make a stand for what you want. Be talkative, but talk at the right time. Answer all the questions confidently. Yeah, so those are the two things that stand out. First impressions, make sure you go there looking good, and be confident when you're answering the questions, when they ask you the questions, and just how you are, your mannerism, just you as a person. Be confident. Also, with confidence, be open, smile, be friendly. When they're asking you a question, just be open, don't be closed in, you know, bad posture. Smile, open, and yeah, just show them the best version of you, okay, because that's what they want to see. So tip number 2 that I'll give you guys is be prepared for your interviews, and this comes with a lot of things. So preparation could be preparing your clothes, preparing so for example, preparing what you would say or the potential questions that they will ask you, preparing by having mock questions, preparing, like, you know, you could have questions with your siblings, tell them to ask you questions with your mum, with your dad. Just prepare for the interview, sit down, write down all the questions that, all the possible questions that they could ask you. Do your research. Also prepare for your maths and English exam, so revise for your maths, revise for your English. Make sure you are going to pass that first stage, because without passing your maths and English you won't even get the interview. So preparation is key. Prepare where you're going. You don't want to go to your interview and then get lost because you haven't prepared yourself, you know, beforehand. You need to make sure you arrive on time, or at least early, so that if there's any delays or if you get lost, you are not late. So preparation is key. They want to see that you're serious about it. You can't be turning up late. You can't be turning up without the right documents. You can't be turning up with, you know, not dressed correctly. Just be prepared. That's tip number 2. Preparation is key. So tip number 3 that I would say is do some research and read around midwifery before you go to your interview. So research such as what is currently going on in the news around, you know, the NHS or midwifery, midwives, what's going on in the news. Is there an article that you could read? You know, the basic stuff, you know, read around the NHS, read around, you know, what the NHS stands for, what makes a good staff member of the NHS. Just do some small basic research for your interviews, just so that you know a little bit of knowledge about the healthcare industry. So research such as, you know, you could do your research about the course that you're going to study, what it entails, what that university offers. Go on the website, have a look at, you know, the description of the course, have a look at the role of the midwife. You know, just do your basic research, and don't go to your interview completely blind and completely unaware of the healthcare industry, or what a midwife is, or what a midwife does, or what the course that you're applying to do, what they do and stuff like that. Just, you know, take that time and prepare and research and read around midwifery. You don't have to know everything about, you know, midwifery and how to be a midwife, what, you know, drugs, medication, procedures, all of that. You don't need to know that. They understand that you're coming to them to learn, so they're not going to ask you, you know, all the in-depth midwifery questions. They just want to know that you have taken out some time and you have some interest in, you know, healthcare, you know, the basic midwifery care, the basic role of the midwifery, of a midwife. So yeah, just scratch the surface a bit and prepare yourself. So tip number 4 that I would suggest is know your personal statement. So your personal statement is what kind of helps them, kind of give them, it kind of helps them when it comes to giving you an interview. So you hand in your personal statement via UCAS, they read your personal statement, and then or they read your personal statement plus your references and all that. So through that, that's when they give you an interview. So when you go to your interview and you don't know your personal statement and they ask you questions regarding your personal statement, that's gonna look so bad. That's gonna look so bad. So I would suggest that you know your personal statement. If you've written in your personal statement that you did a placement on a maternity ward at a hospital and you learned so and so and so and so, if they ask you that and you're there, like, they're gonna think you lied on your personal statement, which will not look good on you. So yeah, I will 100% recommend that you know your personal statement. They could have your personal statement printed out and in front of them, and they're going to be like, so you wrote this, can you explain further? So you wrote this, can you explain further? Or can you give me examples of this? Can you give me examples of this? What did you mean by this? So it's very important that you know your personal statement. So tip number 5 is think about, when you go to your interview, think about why you want to study midwifery and why you want to be a midwife, because this question will come up. They will ask you these questions. So they will basically ask you, so why do you want to study midwifery, or why do you want to be a midwife? If you don't have that question on lock, if you don't have an answer for that question, you will just look ridiculous. They will look at you like, so she doesn't know why she's here, she doesn't know why she wants to be a midwife. So what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do with you? So make sure you know why you want to study midwifery. You know, is it your passion? Is it your calling? Has something in your life has something motivated you to do this? And if so, what is that thing? You know, you can say anything, as long as you have the answer as to why you want to study midwifery and why you want to be a midwife, you're good. As long as you don't sit there quiet and umming and I don't know, that's really bad. Just have an answer as to why you want to be a midwife and why you want to study midwifery. Tip number 6 is prepare the fact that they may ask you scenario-based questions. So obviously they know that you are coming from, you know, a non-midwifery background, so they're not going to ask you midwifery related questions. For example, what would you do if a woman comes in labor and she is contracting, and you know, what would you do? They're not going to ask you those questions like that, because obviously you're coming to them to learn. So they're going to give you scenarios that you can answer. Scenarios like you are on the street and you accidentally walk into someone and they drop their phone on the floor and they keep walking and have not realized that they've dropped their phone. What do you do? So obviously they want you to say, you'll call the person over, tell them that they've dropped their phone and give them their phone back, because obviously that shows that you're honest, you're open, you know, you're willing to do something about a mistake and all of that jazz. You know, that's like an example. Another example would be you receive a fine, maybe like a ticket, like a train fine or a car fine, and you haven't reported it yet. What do you do? You know, scenarios like that. They just want to know that you have good intentions. They want to know that you will do the right thing, because when it comes to midwifery, it's all about doing the right thing. It's all about being open, being honest, you're looking after people, you're going to be caring for people and their family, so you need to be open and honest about what you do and how you do certain things. So these kind of scenarios will be kind of testing you and seeing how you would react in certain situations. So what I would advise is think positively, do the right thing. When they give you a scenario, think, okay, so this scenario, they're asking me so and so, how would I react in this situation for the better? You know, how will my actions benefit, you know, this scenario or that person? So yeah, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that will be my tip for that one. So tip number 7 would be prepare some questions to ask at the end of the interview. So there's gonna come a time where they ask you, do you have any questions for us? For you to just say, oh no, it's alright, you know, it's good to have some questions so that they see that you're interested and, you know, that you want to know more, or you've done your research, etc, etc. So make sure you have a few questions that you can ask at the end. Some questions may have been answered during the interview process. That's why you need to have like multiple. Don't just have that one question. Have like 3 or 4 questions ready to go, so that at the end of the interview you can ask some questions and look like you're keen, you're eager, you're interested, and you just want to know more. Like, you know, you can ask questions such as, you know, how long is our, you know, how many weeks are we out on placement, or how many weeks are we at the university, and how many weeks are we out on placement? Or you can ask questions as, you know, how soon do we go out on placement? You can ask questions, you know, anything to do with the course, you can ask questions. Just make sure you have your questions lined up and ready for when they say, do you have any questions for us? So adding to that, another tip that I would suggest is read the course online. So for the university that you're attending the interview at, make sure you go to the website of the university, go to the midwifery degree section and read the course outline. There's certain things that they may ask you about, or you may have questions that could help you with like thinking about questions to ask them. Just make sure that you have read and understood what is required, what is expected, what's to come when it comes to studying that course, which would help you and give you a better insight. So I remember when I was applying for the university that I ended up going to, I literally read through everything. I wanted to know everything. I wanted to know what I was getting myself into. I wanted to prepare myself. I wanted to know, you know, okay, so what is expected of me, what am I to expect when I started. So yeah, I definitely 100% recommend that you go and read the course outline on the university website, and just so you understand what is going on, and yeah, it will help you also when you're trying to figure out questions to ask. So another tip that I would suggest is, when you're preparing for your interview, make sure you figure out what skills that you can bring to the course. So they will ask you a question, they may ask you a question such as, what skills do you have that are transferable to, you know, bring on to midwifery, and what are these skills that you can bring to the course? So you need to make sure that you are prepared to answer that question and have, you know, the skills that are required or that they're kind of looking for. Skills such as, I don't know, you could say that you're good when it comes to working with all kinds of people. Obviously in midwifery we work with all kinds of people. We work with women and their family, different languages, cultures, religion, races, everything. So when you say, oh, I'm good with, you know, I can easily adapt to different situations, I can easily work with different ages, you know, and all of that, that's a very good skill, and you can say that's a transferable skill to the course that you can bring with you. And also when they ask you if you have any any limitations, is it limitations? Yeah, I think when they say, is there anything that you need to work on, make sure you have a good answer for that. Don't say anything, you know, bad, like, oh, I'm always late, I'm never on time. Don't say that. Do not say that. Say something that is going to help you with the whole interview process, something that is something you need to work on, but also something that's not as bad as, you know, I'm always late. So if I can think of anything, I don't know, like you could say something about seeing the women that don't go and have a full-term pregnancy, they have complications or they lose their baby, I may struggle with my emotions. Something like that you could say, because obviously it's, you don't have, when it comes to midwifery, you don't have to be, you know, always tough and always, you know, have your emotions together. There's going to be times where you will cry with a mum, your emotions are all over the place, and it's fine. They don't want to hear you say, yeah, I can handle anything that comes my way. So if you say that, you know, you may find it difficult because your emotions and all of that, when it comes to loss of, you know, during pregnancy and pregnancy loss and all of that, it's fine. So you can give that as a weakness or something that you need to work on, rather than saying I'm always late or I'm never on time, I'm never prepared. That's my weakness, or that's my downfall. So yeah, something like that. So the final tip that I will give you is make sure you know the basics of the role of a midwife. You can't go into interview not knowing nothing at all of what is expected or what a midwife does in general. You know, the basic. Obviously you don't have to know the details because that's what they're going to teach you, but just know like the basic of what is a midwife. What do they do? You know, it's not all about babies. Those that go into an interview thinking, oh, I'm gonna be surrounded by babies, I'm gonna be looking after babies. It's not just babies. So you need to actually understand that you're looking after women throughout their pregnancy, from, you know, you don't have to say antenatal, you may not know what that is. You know, you're looking after women during their pregnancy and birth. It's not about babies. It's not just, you know, you need to actually understand the role that you are applying for, the role that you want to get into. There's nothing bad than someone literally saying something completely different to what they're actually applying for. Then they'll look at you like, is this really what you want to do? And then you won't succeed in that interview, because they'll just be like, okay, so this person clearly is here for the wrong interview. They don't know what they're talking about. They don't even know the role of the course that they're applying for. So yeah, I'll definitely recommend that you actually do some small research on the role of the midwife and actually understand what they do on a day-to-day basis. You don't have to know the ins and outs. You don't have to know the depth of everything, because obviously that's what they're going to teach you, but just know the basic stuff. So that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it has helped you. I'll say good luck to everyone that's going to go for their interviews. Yeah, it'll be fine as long as you just be yourself, answer the questions with confidence, prepare for your maths and English exams. You literally do okay. And yeah, all the best to you guys, and I'll definitely see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.